So there's a story of this teacher's aide having sexual misconduct with a 16-year-old, and apparently he has resigned, and that's it. There was nothing else on the news, and I'm looking at it on the internet, and I'm not finding out any sort of new information. Now, mind you, this happens a lot. People in power tend to abuse that power, whether it be management in corporations, whether it be priests in the church, whether it be teachers in school. That is the problem with social hierarchy. With social hierarchy comes certain privileges that they will abuse. Period. And what gets me is that people are not upset about this. Now, you're probably listening to this video right now, and you are upset about it, even though it was a 16-year-old, and most people think that a 16-year-old is an age of consent. They may think it's a little creepy, but that when you're 16, you're pretty much developed, so it's not quite as bad as, say, a 5-year-old, which is true. You know, a 16-year-old can in theory, get pregnant and ejaculate and all that shit. A 16-year-old can hold a job, possibly. It's probably not in the best interest of the 16-year-old, because in society, being a 16-year-old, you still have to go to school. You still live under your parents' roof. You know, there's still a lot of pressures as a child, and you are not yet quite an adult as far as society's rules and regulations and expectations go. So that's why it's wrong to have sex with a 16-year-old, because a 16-year-old bears enough burden living in this gray area. And then on top of that, this 16-year-old has special needs. That's something else that's going to piss you off. This is a special needs 16-year-old. So this isn't just a 16-year-old. This is a 16-year-old that has certain mental problems that makes them incapable of, you know, living their own life the way they would like to, because maybe they're slow, maybe they don't comprehend everything as well as a normal person would. Does this mean that they cannot make their own decisions about sex? No, but that should be taken into consideration by the teacher. The teacher should know better than to take advantage of a 16-year-old's trust, let alone a 16-year-old with special needs trust. That, to me, cannot in any way excuse a romantic relationship. That is simply abusing your power. Now, if this has upsetted you, will it upset you as much when I tell you the whole truth? I've left out a little something. A, the 16-year-old special needs was a boy, and B, the teacher was a woman. Does that completely turn upon its head everything I just said? Does that somehow negate the fact that this is a 16-year-old with special needs, and a teacher abusing their privilege of power? Or should I say a teacher's aide, not even an actual teacher? No, it's the same shit. It's still wrong. And that's the problem with our society. We're not able to grasp right and wrong. We are not able to make our own assessments. Just because we're not going to agree on everything does not mean there isn't right and wrong. It just means it needs to be talked about. It needs to be thought about. It means that sometimes you have to make yourself uncomfortable and actually go into detail. Detail is that this teacher's aide has had sex, humping and licking and slurping and goggling on some testicles of a 16-year-old special needs student. That is something that you need to think about whether that's right or wrong. And the fact that you know damn well, if this were a man having sex with a 16-year-old girl that had special needs, there would be no questions asked. Not only would he have gotten fired, not resigned, fired, but there would be investigation, there would be prosecution. There would be no need for this, well, maybe, No, he would probably go to jail. That is the unfortunate reality of our society. Am I saying that this is a men's rights issue? As I'm sure when some of my MRA friends hear about this, they're going to say that, oh, you know, this is an example of the matriarchy and blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. Not necessarily. I don't think this is an issue of matriarchy. I think this is just an issue of our stupidity. The fact that we have put women in one category and men in another and have forgotten what right and wrong is. The issue with me isn't because if it was a man or a woman. The issue with me is the fact that people with power can do this. The fact that they have moral power over you allows this to happen. That's why you have to reduce class hierarchy. Just replacing the class hierarchy is not going to help. Ignoring the class hierarchy is not going to help. Pretending that everything is better because we have equality is not going to help. As long as there is hierarchy, this is going to happen. And you have to admit that to yourself. So that's all I have to say.